Hello,
Hello.
everyone. Welcome back to the All Skills Tournament. Today we have Slow and homothety. Oh shit.
So, homothety has been a legend in this game for a long time. He's well known for innovating several randomizer, well, a lot of things to do with randomizer. I believe he's built logic for it. I believe he's the primary person behind Rando 3, but he's come up with many different skips, a few different plandos. He's well known for having a great mind for the game, and he was a top any percent runner, the first one to achieve a 33-minute time, I believe.
Yeah.
And so I would like to pose at least that Slow is probably the underdog in this. Homothety has gotten a few personal bests in his last two races. A 52.08 being the fastest one we have on record. He has not submitted that to SRC nor any other PBs, so whether that's his current PB, it's hard to tell. But Slow will have his work cut out for him with a 32:30-ish time as his personal best currently.
Yeah, and you never know. Maybe there'll be an upset.
Yep, I mean with times that are only theoretically at least 30 seconds or so apart, that's really just one major mistake from Homothety, and all of a sudden this is Slow's race to take. I wouldn't really expect it. Both of them have been racing fairly consistently, I believe, but anything can happen. I think we're just getting a timer test from Homothety here, making sure he has his load normalizer. You love to see it.
Yeah.
I'm not actually sure. Maybe we should ask them if they're running with low normalizer, because that
I
load can be pretty fast.
I just did. Homothety says yes.
Mother says yes, low
And
norm.
Slow
Okay.
says yes. Okay.
Okay.
Just making sure. There's been quite an issue through the race with not having load normalizer on, unfortunately. But it seems both have it. Um, So if you would like to start the countdown, I think it's a good time, or ask the players if they're ready for a countdown. Slow's PB is on SRC. 1 second. Freak. A 52:29.
Alright, hold on. Okay.
Okay, whenever you're ready.
Alright.
Great.
We have counted down our racers. We should be seeing their stream, or sorry, we should be seeing movement on the stream about 40 seconds from now. A bit of a delay, seeing as both of the it has to go through both the Twitch delay for them as well as the rebroadcast delay.
Mm-hmm.
But that shouldn't be an issue for commentary or anything. It's pretty normal. So
Indeed.
just waiting on that to start. We could talk a little bit about King's Pass movement. There's a little bit of RNG, single trick that saves about 1 second, and other than that, it's all movement.
Yeah, there's the veg fly pogo, and the forest soft drop, the not hard fall. when the floor crumbles beneath you. That's about the only things I can really think of.
Yep, I don't expect either of them to be going for something silly like the RNG softball or anything. So we should see some times that are pretty close. Don't worry about any desync right at the beginning. Our speed gaming volunteers should be able to sync them up fairly soon.
Hmm. And hopefully, if both racers have the load normalizer, it won't get crazy desynced, unlike
Yep.
previous races. But these two people are fairly competent, so I'm pretty sure everything will be okay.
I mean, you'd be surprised how many competent people we've had mess up load normalizer and stuff. But
I'm having my hopes up.
yeah.
So I believe the best possible time you can get coming out of King's Pass is a flat 50, right?
Yeah, and I wouldn't expect that in a race. That's something
No.
you get from resetting over and over and over again, which you're not allowed to do in a race. So we have a 52 from homothety and a 51 from slow. So actually taking an early 1 second lead, and we did get the sync up from our speed gaming volunteer there.
Very good
Much
sync up, by the
appreciated.
way.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, not a whole lot to commentate in this part. Just hopping along during my. Oh, look at those jumps. Those are some well-timed jumps. Just kidding. But yeah,
Yeah.
the real fun parts come in a little bit later. Right now, we're just working our way through Dirtmouth, through Crossroads, until we get our first bell, VS. Here we come to the Gruz drop, however. Let's count how many hits. One for slow.
One for homothety as well. Slow actually manages to hard fall onto one of the platforms there
Mm-hmm.
on the way down, so that's a little unfortunate.
Very
However,
interesting.
still not too far behind. Less than a second difference.
This is always a fun one. Can the players get double spike? Oh, Homate going for an underplot approach. Misses. And slow. Gets it. Let's see. Wow, that's very even.
Yeah, homothety's still very slightly ahead, but... Oh man, if the race can just keep up like this for the remainder, that would just be fantastic.
That'd be intense.
I would personally expect that homothety has a very, very solid game all around. He has a lot of hours in this game. I wouldn't expect him to peter off. Sometimes newer runners tend to overfocus early games, so personally, I wouldn't be too surprised if we saw the same thing from slow. Very, very strong early game and then falling behind a little bit later. But if slow is able to keep up this pace throughout the race, we're looking for have a very good time.
Yeah, I mean, I think slow is definitely one to be contended with. Sure, Hamathi might be a bit favored in this race, but I think we should definitely not underplay slow at all.
No, for sure. I believe they are both in. Is this the 3-1 or the 2-1 bracket? Or sorry, 3-0 or 2-1 bracket?
I
Do we
am
know?
not sure. um,
Okay, hold on. Homothety had to race Monsta at some point. I'm pretty sure Monsta's 3-1.
right.
Surely this is the 2-1 bracket.
Palm comes into the chat saying it is a 2-1, and I believe it.
Yeah.
Alright, which is still a very commendable score. Let us see. Homothety's current PB. A 52.33. However, I believe he did get a PB in a previous race that is unsubmitted or hasn't been approved yet. One of the two. So on SRC, he does have a slower time than slow, but I believe he also has an unofficial quicker time. And let's see. 33-34, I think, for slow, and a 33-35. Was that for homothety? No.
Yeah.
Would have also been a 4. They're 0.11 apart. That's insane.
Beautiful. So we'll see. What we would like to see coming up here is for the Balder to both give them equal spits. Whether that's 8 spits for both of them or 2 spits for both of them is pretty irrelevant. I just want to see them get the same amount of spits. It's unlikely to happen, but
Yeah.
That's what we hope for.
They
And
are
if there's an
so
RNG difference,
in sync right now. Like, look at that.
yeah,
That's insane.
shout outs to the good sync.
Holy
But,
it's like the same player almost.
yep, the early game, like I said, I expect most runners who have been running this game for more than a few months to have it down pat. Especially if they've done like multiple categories, I would expect their early game to be.
Oh.
Oh my goodness, homothety is
Yeah.
just.
So it looks like Slow got first spit, and I didn't actually get the count on how many. Seventh spit? That's rough. First spit for Slow, seventh spit for Homothety. That's gonna put Slow at quite a decent advantage, actually.
I didn't think that was first spit from slow. I could be wrong.
That was
The
100% first spit.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I just there should be a larger difference between them, surely.
I think you're overestimating how many spits time.
But it's about 1 second per spit.
And they're. Yeah, they're about 7 seconds, 8 seconds apart.
Okay. How about that?
8 seconds behind because of pure RNG. You hate to see it. I think again. I missed if Slow got the first fireball skip. However, Homothety gets the first fireball skip pretty handily. I would have to assume Slow still got it, considering where he is now.
Slow as oh yeah. Yeah. That he got it, of course.
Yeah, okay.
So we'll just see. So we're seeing them gather soul. Slow goes actually for a couple of forward slashes on that second enemy, as Homothety goes for forward slashes on the third one. So a slight difference in soul collection here. Both of them end up with exactly 6 hits. Slow misses the birds there. Won't have exactly as much soul as he wants. Homothety misses them as well. Typically you want full soul here. It's not a huge loss to miss out on 1 or 2 hits, but
Nice. Yeah,
yeah, provided
they're both very equal on their soul. They both make the second skip as well. I heard a dunk and I thought it was Slow for a second, but it was just the Moss Charger. And the third one, there's actually an odd desync in the audio between Slow, or with Slow. I don't know if that's something that can be fixed. And also, they both get the third fireball skip. Of course, they're both amazing runners. To be expected. Do you think they'll go for the double fireball on the Moss Knight here?
I would expect both of them to go for that, yeah. It's a pretty neat time save. Slow looked like jumped a little short. Homothety either doing the same thing or either mistiming. Some people believe it's slightly RNG with the Moss Knight, but neither one of them get that extra fireball hit, so both of them have to use all of their soul, meaning they'll have to spend a little bit of time slowing down to collect soul here. It's not horrible. As one of the major time losses, I guess you could say, is Slow doing that forward slash there, which is yeah, not really a huge time loss. In any case, they will both be going for these Moss Knights. Look like Slow got the worst of the 2 RNG cycles, while Homothety gets the better. Maybe they both got the bad RNG. Homothety having quite a bit of trouble with that last Moss Knight, but Slow actually on lower HP. I wouldn't expect 2 HP to result in a death on Hornet. Most runners are going to be familiar with this boss, to the point of not really being in danger of taking more than 1 hit.
Yeah, it's quite easy. I mean, I shouldn't say easy, because a lot of people do struggle with Hornet and speedruns.
It's easy to survive the fight. It's harder to do it optimally. There's strats where you go for double hits that can put you in a little bit riskier positions if she does shorter jumps and stuff, but Slow finishing the fight first, Homothety finishing just barely after.
Homothety has not quite caught up, but like almost caught up to Slow. A few seconds off here.
Yep.
Yeah, 2 seconds on quit out. That's crazy.
About 4.
Yeah, 4 seconds. Anyway, now that they've got their cloak, they're gonna head down into fungal wastes. Some interesting movement here, having to do the drop and a couple of interesting skips that are fun to observe. But for the first little bit, we'll just be observing their movement, avoiding acid dunks and grabbing soul where they can.
Yep, only one, or sorry, only 2 fireballs should really be needed on this split. One to collect some Geo in the E-Pogo room, and another one to kill the Mantis in the Mantis Pogo room.
Yeah.
The Geo collection here is just something that only All Skills does, I believe. All Skills is the only category that does not visit Lem, the only main category that does not visit Lem. So the Geo collection in this route is pretty important. Some people feel it's rather tight, some people feel it's loose. And I think the difference of opinion is sheerly based off of whether or not you find the Geo collection from enemies to be relatively consistent, or whether people tend to go for some less consistent strats. Yeah, well, one of our chat members, Emre, pointing out that they are very close on the Geo numbers here. Homothety in Green Path was 4 Geo ahead, but it looks like it's not making a difference. Slow, I think, actually having a little bit of difficulty taking 1 damage there. Probably due to the load normalizer messing with the cycles. I do know that the load normalizer does indeed mess with those cycles. But he
First
gets
try
E-Pogo first
E-Pogo
try.
for the both of them. Very well done.
Yep. Would be expected for them. But it
Mhm.
looked like Slow was a little low there. I was a little scared for him, but he did
Yeah.
manage to get it.
Managed to sneak up on the platform, luckily.
Oh,
Ooh.
man. Just holding left a little too early, trying, or either that or missing his dash input.
That does put Homothety in the lead by a few seconds.
Yeah.
Uh, However, it was a
Fortunately.
very good recovery by Slow, managing to pick it
Yeah.
up on the second try.
Yeah, saving himself the trip of going around is very, very solid time save compared to, yeah, what he would have to do if he missed that pogo again. So now the lead is 4 seconds in Homothety's favor. Thank you
Wow.
again to Rixian.
Yeah, right.
Um, and honestly, in a race where their PBs are ostensibly 20 seconds apart, these 4 seconds could end up mattering. So
Yeah, absolutely. Here, we're going to go over to Gruzmother. We need to collect a bit of soul on our way, smacking a few bugs to collect it. If they don't grab enough, they'll have to kill the beloved Jennifer. Let's see if anyone would have to do that here.
looks like Homothety already has 4 hits. I think he must have pogoed Avengefly twice somewhere. I didn't actually see where he got that.
I believe
So
that is.
it looks like he's already guaranteed Jennifer is spared. Yeah, he has 5 hits
Yeah.
here. Only needs to go for 1 Jennifer hit.
Oh,
Wild.
nice.
And only 2 from Slow. Excellent.
Wild. Indeed. And there's a quick kill for Gruzmother. I am certain both these runners are going to be able to execute very well. Homothety kills it before the first attack even. Slow is a little bit slower, not by a whole lot though. It's still very commendable. Very quick.
Jennifer is that little jumping, the jumping husk on the way to Gruzmother. The last husk you'll see. They just use her to collect some extra soul, and if they're missing a hit, they will have to go for 3 hits, which will kill her. Homothety got a very clean cleanup, I believe. Slow getting a slightly slower one.
Only missing one with the 2 fireballs, it looks like.
Yeah, there's a trick to get some extra geo to dash along the top of the arena. Sometimes if you kill the Gruzmother while she's too high in the arena, yeah, her geo will get stuck in the ceiling.
It
But if
will?
you dash alongside the top, yep.
That's
But if you
crazy.
dash along the top, you can collect 4. I'm right pointing out, or you can collect most of whatever is left up there. If you get very unlucky, it will be uncollectible, but Homothety managed to pick up 4, according to Emre.
That is crazy.
Definitely want 50 geo there. So if you ever notice you're under 50 geo there, it's probably in the ceiling.
Okay. Yeah, and homothety and slow, both very professionally executed. Shade skips, the intentional death alone, the climb up to the ledge there to get to the blue lake, and as well as the right side of City of Tears, which is where they need to go to get their, um, I guess, first non-any percent abilities. Coming down here, you're gonna see the racers grab a bit of Geo along the way, killing the few husks that are along. Just scrape up just enough to be able to purchase Dash Lash, as well as with the help of Gorgeous Husk. 420 boy, as some people like to call him.
Oh, that's really unlucky from homothety that the
Mm-hmm.
yeah, the largest husk, which gives the most geo, was to his right there. And I believe some runners would opt to kill it anyway, just because it's a pretty important geo, but I think he might he probably has his geo calculations down pat. Knows that he doesn't quite need it to make it through. But yeah, I was going to say while I was muted that they are going to the Gorgeous Husk, and it's interesting to see in this route that they go directly towards this Gorgeous Husk. Oh
Oh
no, homothety.
no!
Yeah, homothety taking a small fall there will lose him a significant amount of seconds here.
That's always so sad when that happens. But
Yeah,
yeah,
just
that does in fact put Slow back into the lead here, which just goes to show any little mistake will just give the other player such a big advantage.
yeah, slow getting all but one geo here without too much trouble. Same for homothety. Homothety is a little bit behind, but both of them will be above that 704 geo comfy number require. I mean, there's only 2 rows of hoppers will be required. You definitely don't want to be having to kill any extra aspids or hoppers. But
Mm-hmm.
slow with a almost looks like a 20 geo lead. About 18 geo ahead means that he might have a much faster King Station split, which will be when they're exiting City of Tears. Both of them should have enough geo for this split, but the geo is really relevant until they need the 300 geo to exit the city.
Yeah,
So with Slow being a little bit ahead, provided he collects all of this hopper geo, he will have some future time save in addition to what he already has.
very clean cycles with the hoppers from Slow, as well as Homothety.
Yep, there's a few different strats. Homothety just went for the under slash. I didn't quite see what strat Slow went for. Just saw that he was able to get through him, and yeah, 830 geo. He will still maintain that 20 geo lead, so
Yeah,
probably
that
going to be able to skip a few husks on the way out.
is actually quite impressive how much Geo he's collected. I don't assume that's a very regular thing for Slow. I somehow doubt it can be with how fast he's going, not going out of his way to collect extra Geo.
Yeah, I mean he got good RNG on the last row of the first room of city. That
Right.
that final row in the elevator rooms.
But
They
that's
all
only
lined
been,
up for a single fireball, which is what you love to see. So I
yeah.
would attribute most of that to that.
It's only about 10 Geo though, isn't it? 50 maybe at most.
I mean, he only has 20 extra, so
Yeah, that's fair. That is fair. Maybe a bit of extra luck with Moss Chargers or something is what did the rest.
yeah, perhaps. In any case, this is what I was saying about the route being interesting, is that they start making their way to their next objective in the Soul Sanctum, but they actually end up turning around just because that dash slash skill is so important, or not turning around, but quitting out and going backwards, so to speak. Because they need that dash slash skill to do these lever skips. Higher level runners will tend to use dash slash also to activate levers, elevators from farther away, even though they don't need to do any lever skips. The first lever skip will be the one leading to this dark room here, not requiring dash slash, just a quick up slash, and Slow misses it, falling back down, taking extra damage. He might go for this bench. Oh, he does not. Going into Soul Sanctum on 3 HP and 6 soul, while Homothety will be going in with now it looks like a lead on the timer as well as more HP.
1 second lead. Insane. This race is so close.
Yeah, very back and forth. It's just been one or two mistakes from each runner leading to a difference in who's in the lead.
Like,
And now, what I would like to see is does slow play for time and try to go for just these quick movements, quick kills, or does he try to slow it down, maybe spend a little extra soul on this guy? And yeah, he does go for 2 fireballs there, which does mean that he does risk being at a lower soul for the soul warrior fight and not being able to kill it as quickly. If he gets the quick kill on it, it won't matter. But homothety definitely having a little more wiggle room with that extra soul.
absolutely. Yeah, Homothety almost full. Slow took a heal, so he's...
Yeah, that means he's guaranteed to get a slower fight now.
Yeah. I don't know if he's got a backup strat or something, but Homothety should be saving a few more seconds with the Soul Warrior fight than Slow is.
Yep. Just that one hit of extra damage, he's not comfortable going into the Soul Sanctum on 3 HP, which is understandable. It's a heavily RNG area. Personally, I like to save the soul and maybe go for a kill on one of the more RNG enemies in a later room. But slow, just knowing how rough this area can be, not wanting to die here in a race, I fully understand.
That was actually a really interesting strat from Slow, getting the Soul Vial from underneath instead of stopping the elevator to go for it.
Yeah, actually, I've not seen that. And I didn't see it this time either. I was focused on Homothety's Soul Warrior fight, which was good, as well as Slow's not losing as much time as I would have expected, probably, because he grabbed that Soul Jar. This is the enemy that I expected him to have to fireball. Does have to fireball him. But he's coming in on low soul. It looks like the quick kill will not be available to slow on the Soul Master, which is potentially 20 seconds or so of potential time save just out the window.
Tried to go for a last-minute nail hit on the Soul Twister. Unfortunately, doesn't get it though. Yeah, he goes for that Soul Vial to be able to try to pull it off.
Yeah, and he'll still be able to go for that initial burst of damage that I believe Homothety got most of. Definitely got at least 2 Shade Soul hits.
Cool.
We'll see if Slow can get 3. Still an incredibly fast. Oh no. He got the worst RNG that you can get there. There's nothing to be done about that. This is why this area can be so upsetting to newer runners, older runners alike. It's just, it seems like no matter what you do in Soul Sanctum, no matter how well you play, you can just get screwed over by the RNG. So even if Slow had come in here with full soul and full HP, wouldn't have made a huge difference here.
Yeah.
And now he's going to try to collect soul and get a double hit on it. It's not happening. He's having a very rough fight, choosing to heal. Again, not wanting to die here.
Yeah. I mean, it's slower to die than it is to heal, right? So.
Yeah. However, Homothety being a full Soul Master phase ahead of Slow here is going to be a huge boon to him. We'll see if he starts pulling off riskier or less consistent strats, maybe a Pogax here and there. If Homothety's watching the race, he should consider this lead somewhat significant.
Oh,
again, any death or a death, maybe a really slow Hornet fight. Hornet fights tend to slow down when you get to low HP.
Oh, Slow
could bring Slow back. Yeah.
He's angry, understandably so.
It is just frustrating to lose massive amounts of time to just poor RNG, but he'll survive and make it through that fight, which is important. Credit to him on maintaining that on maintaining his composure and not dying. Making sure that he healed up when he didn't feel safe. Those heals coming in handy. He did fall to 1 HP, so
yep.
If he hadn't healed somewhere in that split, it could have definitely been a death there.
Yeah, for sure. Ooh.
Ooh.
Homothety gets hit by the elevator spikes, unfortunate.
Yeah, just small movements like this showing that you don't want to be on 1 HP leaving Soul Sanctum either.
Yeah.
These elevators all have spikes on them. There's a few follies and mistakes that can get in your way. Those being the names of those blob creatures throughout the Soul Sanctum. We will be seeing Homothety Shade Soul some enemies here. Slow, as we mentioned before, still maintaining that Geo lead. Won't need to Shade Soul any enemies on the way out. I would like to see him hold that soul and not Shade Soul anyone and try to just not collect any extra soul for the dive. We'll
Oh,
see. He does go and save that grub on the way out of Soul Sanctum. Misses the dash.
yeah, I guess he's pretty certain this won't PB, so I guess he's gonna go out of the way for some grubs.
Yeah, rough Soul Master fight. Uncertain where his time save would be, but with yeah, he does
Ooh.
try not Shade Souling.
Ooh.
Maybe I was wrong. Maybe he should have just Shade Souled them for safety.
No, I think
Um,
that's fine. Because now he's got enough soul to carry him through the D dive here and into C peaks without having to go out of his way to farm anything.
that's true.
And he's got more than enough Geo to be able to get King Station. I think that was the correct decision.
Okay, so we will be seeing him do. Oh boy. Yeah, that husk is always very frequently in the way. He knew to expect it, but I wasn't quite
Wow,
sure.
that was unfortunate.
Yeah, personally, if you ask me, he should have started that dive a little farther to the right to guarantee that he got one of the husks on the right there. To dive on the left be more would be more common if he was shorter on Geo, but either way, he had enough soul, and he
Hmm.
collects enough soul for a fireball again on the way out. So,
Yeah.
ooh,
Ooh,
and he gets that. Oh,
gets hit though.
rough.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
any time save he got from that definitely mitigated. That was people call that the Photoshop jump. It's a difficult jump to get unless you've practiced it quite a bit, and even then, not fully consistent for most players.
Hmm.
I believe we'll see him heal here, yeah, right after hitting that bell. So, although he gets this nifty trick that saves point 2, I think the heal there and the slight fall of the movement will make up for that entirely. But in the meantime, we do see Homothety making his way towards Crystal Peaks. He'll be entering with with one spell or 2 spells worth of soul.
Hmm.
He'll be able to dive here,
Hi Mila, bye Mila.
meaning he'll be able to dive here. Oh, slow taking a fallen crossroads. Not very importantly, deciding to avoid damage. Taking damage on the split is very frustrating. It's why you see slow opting to heal up on his way to this split because you don't get a good opportunity to heal through for about the next 5 minutes on the way to collecting Crystal Heart, on the way to collecting D-Dark. There's plenty of places you can take damage. Some of them look like
Pogax. Oh,
intentional damage tanks. Yeah, Homothety getting the faster version of Pogax with no dash involved whatsoever.
that looked super slick.
Yep, that is what you want to see from an experienced runner.
I wonder if he'll be getting a God Pixel.
Looks like he's going.
Ooh.
Definitely get God Pixel. You're able to avoid damage there if you just sneak in between the hitbox of the laser and the crawlid. It is not lined up perfectly there. So if you lined yourself up the right way, it's an entirely skill-based trick to just yeet yourself right through that laser.
Very beautifully executed. And Slow not going for the Pogax.
Yeah. Definitely you can tell right from the start if he's going to the left side there. Opting not to do it. Homothety demonstrating just how much damage you can take accidentally. Already taken 2. There would be a damage tank that is optimal here, but I doubt he will go for it. It would probably mean, well, it really just depends on how comfortable he
Yeah,
is with Dark Room. Oh yeah, he's going for the damage cycle.
definitely.
Yep. Okay, so he's confident in his Crystal Peaks. I doubt we'll see him heal there if that's the case. I don't think that damage tanking saves time if you choose to heal later. So we'll be seeing
Yeah,
him do the Dark Room and D-Dark split on 2 HP. So he's looking to go through this entire next section hitless.
underplot, let's go. Yeah, and I'm fairly confident he'll be able to. Homothety is a very, very competent runner. And we're gonna see Slow come up and do the exact same thing from before. Ooh, unfortunate hard fall. Hits the lever.
Homothety
And
did go for the underplat, chat going for woos. Sierra indicating, I think, that Slow went for God's Cycle and got it.
no,
Um,
that was for homophily.
no, Homothety got God Pixel. God Cycle's different.
No, she said God Cycle for.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I promise you, I saw that come up after homophily.
Okay. God Pixel
Anyway,
and God Cycle are slightly different. God Cycle is arriving at the crystal crawlid before it gets its laser shot off, which is RNG, by the way. It is possible to arrive there on the right timing and just get bad luck with it. But yeah, Slow goes for underplat as well. Homothety goes for a clean darkroom. He does heal somewhere. I bet he healed while he was saving the grub, and I missed that.
yeah.
Good place to heal. Loses barely any time, if any at all. But I would say that's a wise heal. You can get double hit in a few places, including that dark room that he passed through so easily, and including this room right here. And a
Believe,
double hit on 2 HP would lead to an instant death. Not something you want.
I believe there is also a way to get triple hit here, like
Oh, for
taking
sure.
damage
Sure.
and then dunking and then taking another damage because the iframes don't reset or something.
Yeah, the Crystal Crawlid can, or not Crystal Crawler, Crystal Hunter can shoot a a bit of a crystal at the place where you spawn, and you don't have time to react before your iframes run out. But Homothety avoids all kinds of shenanigans like that. Slow has made it through the split extremely cleanly after
Mm-hmm.
taking that initial damage in the city. Doesn't look like he took any additional damage throughout this entire split. I guess that would mean he also didn't do the damage tank though. In the Crystal Heart room,
Yeah, slow cycle unless he healed.
he tried
That's
to go to pogo those spikes there. Slightly faster strat, definitely a little risky as he demonstrates.
mm-hmm.
Oh no, and
Ooh,
now this Hunter's
that's
just
okay.
aggro.
So we
Yeah.
didn't explain it for Homothety, but we're gonna hit this crystal 7 times, dash over and clear the way. Then we're gonna charge up a dash slash and hit it the 8th time, and that animation is gonna continue and slide us over to hitting these spikes, spawn us here, and then we can just fly out while the game's giving us our D-Dark. Early control, and we don't have to wait those precious seconds for the game to give us the ability.
And now Homothety will be collecting one of the necessary skills, or I'm not sure it's a skill, it's definitely a tool at the very least, of the game, the Dream Nail. He goes for that Dream Plat, underplat there. Slick movement. I believe optimally you would not go for a, it's not a hard fall. You kind of slam into the wall. Optimally you stop your C dash before you hit that platform, but
Mhm.
either way, getting that underplat will save a little bit of time. We'll see if Slow goes for it. But this Dream Nail is required to slay the Dreamers, which is required to access the final boss. The first of which, Homothety, will be approaching corpse back to the bench in the Watcher's Spire and heads up to fight the Watcher Knights, which guard our first Dreamer.
Still giving us a few more nods.
I didn't see Slow fall off the platform. Did he?
No, he
Go?
did.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
he did the descending dark version, which
Oh,
is
cool.
quite quicker than inventory and dropping off. But yeah,
Yeah, if you have a little bit of extra soul, you can actually
ooh,
do a D-dive.
bit of an early release on the Sea Heart from Homothety there. They're gonna
Yeah,
have to
that.
delay a few
But
seconds.
elevator hitbox, it's just a little bit sus. If you start that C dash just 2 pixels too short, you just get slammed into a floor that you can barely see. Goes for a Dream Nail right before the fight, which is standard. And a third Dream Nail there. Should be able to kill this knight, which is... Whoa.
Oh,
So,
alright.
hmm, showing off a Shade Soul strat there, going for 2 Shade Souls.
I'm not sure if that was quicker.
He might have actually missed some damage on the first D-Dark. I think 1 Shade Soul was supposed to finish them off there.
Hmm.
Either way,
Yeah.
he reacted to that fairly quickly.
Hmm.
And yeah, he's trying to lure them towards each other here. Yeah, good. Get them right lined up.
Oh, very good RNG on that last
Yeah,
one there.
yeah.
Actually,
But
better
you
one.
want to see them. You want to see them line up like that. They can line up a little quicker if the one on the right rolls to the left. But he
Hmm.
does manage to manipulate them into a good position. He definitely had good RNG on the second set of Watcher Knights. They stayed right next to each other until they died. You want them to stack up like that so that so that every cast of the D-Dart does full damage to both. And yeah, Slow showing off the thing that Homothety was trying to go for. 2 D-Darks, a nail hit, and a Shade Soul should finish them off. But yeah, I have to assume that Homothety missed one of those nail hits. And now they line up for him after rolling away. Good, pretty good. Oh, you really thought that that Shade Soul would finish him off? Oh, one nail hit away.
It should have finished him off too.
Yeah.
Slow unfortunately does not get as good of RNG as Homothety did. However,
Yeah, they're just bouncing like absolute maniacs. And now he's face tanking a little bit. Shouldn't be in too much danger. Yeah, there we go. He's finished them off quite nicely.
Unfortunate. Seems Homothety just had like some of the best RNG in his race, while Slow is getting some of the worst.
I mean, he started with a 7-spit boulder, right?
Oh, that's fair. I forgot about that part.
Which, I mean, to be fair, is only a 6-second time loss. I'm not apt enough at the Watcher Knight fight to tell just how much different RNG cycles will save or lose on that fight. It's usually not too much, considering how quickly each set die, but Slow definitely reacted to the bad RNG very well, I would say. Making sure he does Shade Souls when the Watcher Knights are split up. He does go for a dash slash on the Dreamer, slightly faster. Didn't see if Homothety goes for that.
Homothety will be coming up to the Isthmus tier skips, which is a set of 3 skips, a tunnel, spike tunnel, and 2 acid skips. They can be fairly difficult to execute even for experienced runners. It's a fairly precise set of movements, but let's see how well Homothety will be able to execute.
I would like to mention, by the way, that Homothety has been saving time on just about every split. For the last 3 splits, saving exactly 8 seconds against Slow's run currently, so he's now over a minute ahead.
Yeah.
Which, as I said at the beginning, is something I might expect. A lot of runners who have... I know that Slow has run multiple categories, so his early game is... the early game of this game is pretty consistent across every category. So, actually, I should be talking about this worm skip.
Slow got first try every skip, very well executed. Did the setup on the last acid skip and got the worm to fly over and hit him, giving him early control so he can dash out of the room just a few seconds earlier than normal. Very well done.
Did mean to say Homothety there, but we'll be seeing Slow do the same thing very soon. Homothety is going to be crossing the RNG bridge while Slow starts this skip.
Oof.
Does take 1 damage initially. He's nailing a little bit too early, it seems. There we go.
Third try is very much fine.
Yeah, it's fine. He does have to worry a little bit about HP here. He will be leaving. It's fine, but it's definitely a significant time loss, both in failing that first trick, and it means he'll probably... Yeah, I was going to say, even if he gets all of these tricks perfectly, if he does the Warmp early control, he's going to want to heal afterward, but now he's used that soul already. I wouldn't be surprised to see him skip the Warmp time save, and because I wouldn't want to leave here on 1 HP, but it looks like he does.
No, I think the time save is worth it. You can heal pretty easily. Doesn't look like the Worm's coming anyway, though.
Yeah, the Warmp not quite cooperating. He might have hit the Warmp with his C dash and knocked it backwards there.
It's possible.
Yeah. In the meantime, Homothety will be going through these Molochs, trying to take as little hits as possible. He's avoided every single potential hit so far. Dealing with a Moloch that's usually a guaranteed hit, and swift fashion, just pausing his C-dash and dashing over calmly. Hitless Moloch room, you love to see it. I would expect a basin skip here, and Homothety is a man of spice. Here we go. Oh, 1 missed. Oh, 2nd miss. That will mean that he doesn't save any time with that, but he won't lose much either. But that's a neat little skip there. The geometry of that place is surprisingly difficult to navigate. you can go around there and only lose a couple of seconds, and a lot of runners will go for it. But Homothety's a very spicy runner.
I
Yeah,
will
he goes
note.
for a little hop there for his Shade Souls. That's interesting.
I will note that homothety got through the broken bridge without having to cancel, while Slow did. This is a very clean fight from homothety. Yeah, that was so quick.
Yep, starting off that fight with the 2 Shade Souls and optimal timing means 160 damage to start the fight out. And then he goes right into that headbang attack, which is HP based, and just allows Homothety to chain dive after dive on top. You
I
see
would
Slow skipping the first Monarch hit as well. Very
I would
good.
not be surprised if that was a gold for homothety, these wings. That was an incredibly clean split, and I know
He missed the base and skip twice, so
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that part.
yeah, it was very clean. The base and skip wouldn't lose him much time, but it would definitely. I would expect him to have a gold that includes a first try there.
Yeah,
It's
that's
definitely
fair.
possible for top runners.
Slow does not try for the base and skip, understandable. Trick isn't exactly worth it if you're not competent or comfortable with it. Competent is not the right word.
Yeah. It's barely worth it even if you are very good at it, just because it's just a slight mistake in the movement. Good, he gets the good timing on that first Shade Soul, meaning he will get both Shade Souls. If you get the first one, the second one's guaranteed, provided you know how to press buttons, which Slow has definitely demonstrated. He has the ability for pretty much getting an identical fight to Homothety here.
Yeah, fairly similar. Yeah, and
Yeah.
dead. That was actually about the same amount of time. Homothety is now coming up to what many consider to be the toughest part of the game, Hornet 2. The blocks, the parries that can block your spells and hit you back are quite annoying to many players, especially with what little tools we have.
I
But
would like to
sure
point out.
Homothety is practiced enough to be able to handle it very well.
I would like to point out that Valley, who is a top runner of this category, has declared that Homothety is actually on low 51 pace, which means we could be seeing a PB from Homothety here. A lot of this time loss outside of the Soul Sanctum, I would say. Oh no!
That was unlucky.
Yeah, Homothety going for a swag strat there, just ugh. Yeah, I got clipped just barely by that Aspid. Unlucky.
Does not take the camp bench, and I don't believe he took the basin bench either, or the station bench.
Yeah, I would definitely expect that from Homothety, especially on such a good pace. Wouldn't be wanting to be. I mean, a death would definitely take him off. Not only a good pace, but no, actually, if he went for the camp bench, Slow still might be behind, even with a death from Homothety. But if he took the King Station bench, like that still wouldn't save him from losing the lead. I think.
No, definitely not.
Good decision, I would say, to not take either one in this race.
I mean, depends if he dies or not, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think he'd be happy with a death in a race. All of his other races have been quite clean.
He's so
aside from maybe his first.
Yeah, that was such a clean Hornet 2 fight.
Yeah,
Insane.
so many double hits, so many D-Darks. Landing full damage. Exactly what you want to see from that fight.
Yeah.
And yeah, he went in on 4 HP and leaves on 3, so only took 1 damage as well. Going in on 4 HP there could be pretty spooky. Hornet she can't really combo you because of iframes, but with how fast her attacks come, you can blink and you'll be missing 3. So, good on him to make that a very fast fight.
Yeah, definitely. Will he go invisible? Of course not.
Only be a 5-second penalty if he did. At this stage of the tournament, I doubt we really have to worry about it. I think most runners are aware of that rule and how to avoid triggering it.
Yes, it's just funny.
Yeah.
The amount of trickery that's been done with the early control there has been quite hilarious in my opinion. But Slow is also fighting Hornet 2 now, taking 2 hits so far, about halfway through the fight, I think.
Yeah, and so far none of his Shade Souls have done the double hit. The way to get double hits in this fight, yeah, I would have gone for a D-Dark there. He's going for a relatively safe fight, perhaps now realizing already being on 3 HP, a little off of his rhythm. Does start pulling out the D-Darks now, those full damage D-Darks being technically optimal damage. Also contributing, I think, up to 3 hits towards her next stagger. But now he's getting the double hits that you want to see. I'm
There
almost
you go.
certain all of those later Shade Souls.
Lovely. Now we're coming up to a fairly movement based part of the run. Going up to get Cyclone Slash. There's not a whole lot of interesting movement tech. We're just gonna make our way there and yeah.
Yeah, outside of those first 3 Shade Souls, I would say that, and maybe the build up to the next, I would say that was quite a clean fight.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, whatever. Slow, very good 1-2 fight even still.
I cannot tell if homothety just got C-Dash glitch or if that would be something normal. He tried to C-Dash while that Crawlid was approaching him. I can't tell if, like, the game just decided it hit him as he released, or if he got the C-Dash glitch where it should have killed that Crawlid, but simply did not, due to physics frames not lining up with the game frames or something similar.
It
So
looked like the C-Dash went through to me. Maybe I'm...
I mean, the C-Dash started, that's what killed the Crawlid. I just don't know if... So, according to Emre, she believes it was a trade where he got the C-Dash damage as the Crawlid hit him.
I see.
So, not a glitch. But either way, it would have been a relatively minor time loss. Just something to, like, keep track of. It's one of the most unlucky things that can happen in a run, is just C-Dash decides to not kill the enemy. So.
Yeah. Unfortunately, homothety does have quite a sizable lead at this point. Slow just bleeding a bit of time here and there, and it's all adding up. And homothety just doesn't seem to be making any more mistakes that are allowing Slow to be able to catch up either.
Interestingly enough, didn't see homothety go for that Cyclone Slash for the early control. Doesn't save too much time, but I don't know if that was a conscious decision, as in he knows the strat but doesn't care for it, or if he just hasn't bothered to learn it. A lot of the runners who have been in the scene for a long time, not picking up on some of these newer innovations, but not quite sure. Slow failing a C-Dash there, but
yeah, rough.
Not too much detriment. I've been going to lose about the same amount of time that homothety did.
One thing I'm always interested in is the drops here that homothety is doing. He's gonna go for a quicker drop. Nice. Oh, very clean. It doesn't save a whole lot of time, but not doing the inventory drops and weaving your way through always just looks so nice.
And we'll be headed to the Umu fight. I would expect a 1 cycle from both these runners. The 1 cycle being somewhat difficult to get if you don't know the consistent strat properly, but unlike any percent, does have very consistent backups, even if Umu does have an extra attack in it. So not too much RNG in this, just need to make sure that they lure him properly to the wall, push him out of bounds, and get all these Shade Soul double hits, as well as 4 nail hits to finish Umu off in 1 cycle.
And then after this, I don't think Umu's gonna go for a 4th attack.
Yeah, you can tell by the distance that Umu travels whether he will go for an extra or not. Does get that first double hit, 1, 2, 3, 4th nail hit pushes him out of bounds, and yes.
Yeah.
Every Shade Soul that needs to double hits.
Perfect.
Slow took 2 hits of damage in that Grezrum.
Ooh.
Umi needs to be a little bit more careful on this drop. Yeah, textbook
Yeah,
1 cycle
definitely.
for sure. But we'll need to be a little more careful on this drop. If he takes another hit of damage, honestly, if he's confident with the 1 cycle, taking damage shouldn't matter at all. Because you typically do not take damage getting the 1 cycle properly.
Looks like Slow and homothety had slightly different versions of their own drops. I'm not sure if one is quicker than the other, but Slow did unfortunately take that 1 hard fall, which made it slower.
Yeah.
And hopefully Slow will be able to get the 1 cycle just like homothety did.
Yeah, and he doesn't take any additional damage, doesn't feel tempted to go to the bench. Even on 2 HP, I reckon he would avoid that bench. Trying to save as much time as he can to catch up here, I reckon. Whether or not he's watching the stream, I feel like he could definitely assume he was behind. Does go for a heal there, but it's not my favorite strategy to heal, but right before Umu. Does lead to him getting hit right away anyway.
I mean, I think the heal is fine. I think he's just a bit late on the Dream Nail.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Possible. Yeah, it does take an additional damage there to make sure he gets up here quickly. I believe that's the fast. Oh my goodness, a little
Ooh.
early. Yeah, this is not going to one cycle at all.
Yeah, they didn't double. Ugh. Oh,
Oh,
no.
no.
An unfortunate death from Slow. He's gonna respawn back up at Dirtmouth. He's gonna have to traverse the whole way back down. That is some unfortunate happenstance.
I'll take responsibility for that one on the commentator curse. I did say about 4 times that I wouldn't expect a death. But such a delayed com curse. I mean, Umu's a slow boss. I don't know. It's about as slow as Umu could have, or as quickly as Umu can kill someone.
That's fair. Oh, was that a, no, it was a lantern. It was not an airwalk. Lantern poker, not an airwalk. About the same amount of time either way. Well, while Slow gets back to where he was, Homothety is on his way to get Great Slash now. There's some fun movement here going through the Vine Gauntlet. I'm not sure what exactly it's called. But yeah, lots of neat little tech you can make do with.
So, something else that I wouldn't expect is a death anywhere in the rest of the race from Homothety. Because that would just even it up and make the race too close for comfort. I definitely expect no deaths to Sibling Climb or the Hollow Knight whatsoever.
Ooh.
Yeah, he goes for a dash to that platform, wants to reset his wings, but just barely misses the platform entirely. Doesn't have doesn't have his dash or wings to get out of that situation. But the 1 damage not going to make a huge difference as they quit out immediately after.
There is absolutely no way Homothety could possibly die to Sibling Climb.
Yeah. Sure. 2 damage siblings not known for killing anybody. Especially not if they take a damage on an Abyss Tentacle beforehand.
Yeah.
So Slow will have a second chance to actually show off this 1 cycle. Does get all 4 hits, does push him out of bounds, and he gets that 1 cycle. He just died for the extra content, ladies and gentlemen. Relax.
Relax.
Oh, and showing off that wall cling storage. Beautiful. I didn't even see him get the initial wall cling storage, but does hop out of the acid.
Yeah, I think
Does hop out of the acid with that wall cling storage and maintains it.
Homothety tried to get it, but hit the edge of the platform before falling down. Slow,
Yeah.
managing to fall right into the acid, and then, yeah, as Sabi said, hop with it from the acid. Ooh, alright.
But we'll be seeing Homothety gather up the Howling Wraiths ability here. It will be the last base spell that they need. Definitely good to acquire it along the way to Hera's Beast Den, as it will put you halfway towards that direction, and it means that you'll have that spell later for when you go into the Abyss and collect the Shade Cloak, making the Abyss a single trip in this category. Definitely an interesting Squid Arena from Homothety. I do wonder if he regularly goes for that, or if that was some improvisation after an early mistake.
That was
Either
really
way.
quick.
Yeah, it doesn't take any damage, doesn't lose much time.
Yeah, I don't know. It looked like there was some extra squits there earlier. I don't know if he baited some in and didn't kill him with the sea dash or something, but it was definitely very interesting.
Runners about 3 minutes apart. Even a death from Homothety It would require a death like towards the end of Beastin,
Yeah.
in order to even make this somewhat close. A death even at Sibling Climb,
But
or at
there's no way Homothety could die to a devout. Absolutely none.
I mean, especially leaving here on 5 HP and full soul, it's pretty safe.
Yeah, it is.
What I'd like to see from Homothety with this kind of lead, if he is indeed watching the race, is an underplat on the
Oh,
Thorn Warp.
the hazard respawn. Yep.
Yeah, we've seen 2 underplats here, and honestly, if he wants to be real generous, he could go for the deep nest underplat and potentially lose his entire run.
No underplat. People leave.
Yeah, tragic. If he doesn't go for that underplat, I wouldn't expect him to go for the deep nest one. If you fail the deep nest underplat, you have to crawl all the way back up through the distant village, past, what is her name? She's a midwife, past midwife, through a massive dark room that most runners would not have memorized for any reason. Homothety actually might be familiar with it from randomizers. Now that I think about it, maybe it's not a huge risk for him.
I'm not sure why you'd ever need to go up there.
I mean, there's a bunch of different rando goals. And
That's true.
bingo.
Geo rocks and stuff. Yeah. Talk to midwife.
Yeah. But Homothety should be comfortable going through this entire room in the dark. Unlike any percent, because we have dive, we don't need lantern to enter sea peak, so it's simply faster to not get it and progress through this evil blackness with minimum lighting. It's fairly safe. It's pretty safe to go through here once you know the rooms. One of the few dangers being that spider that can give you some bad RNG, and that C-dashing a little bit low. He hits the spikes, decides to walk out of the room to reset it.
Very smart. But yeah, starts the C-dash a bit too early, which smacks him against the wall and then drops him into the spikes.
Oh, was he too high?
Yeah, an unfortunate mistake. Starting it too soon like that. But gets it right the second time around. No problems.
I was almost certain that it was too late, but yeah, definitely wrong on that one. He does make it here on 3 HP. Doesn't seem like he's in danger of dying to any bouts.
Homothety blaming Valley for the mistake there in chat. Very well done. And does not die to live without. Very good.
Yeah, interestingly, Shade Soul's a little. He just went back for 4 Geo when he already had 250.
Yeah, like he didn't. I guess he didn't get know how much Geo yet.
Yep.
Oh.
Interesting strategy. But in any case, 250 is the number that you need to get out of Deep Nest via the Stag Station.
And here's
Homothety will be leaving with at least 4 extra.
At Aspen Arena. Doing a more standardized strat, it seems.
No Aspens in the Squid Arena, but yeah. Barely makes the wings back up there, but I believe that is the most modern version of the Squid Arena. Being able to fireball the last 2 squits while you're next to the right side of the arena so that you can exit almost as soon as that gate opens. Homothety goes and gets 1 extra hit of soul, interestingly enough. Where would they use this soul?
Safety, maybe?
Yeah, like, I guess if there's a bunch of, if they fall in the sibling climb, they can blast a huge amount of, siblings and get them all out of the way at once. Or, I guess, a safety heal in case they accidentally fly into one of the abyss tentacles.
Yeah, I mean, just poke with the sibling's forehead. Easy. You got wings, just climb.
Do we get 3rd underplat from slow here? That's the real question.
Hard fall.
Nope.
No. Oh,
no, he doesn't even get the warp. Unlucky. Taking an extra hit of damage here. Wouldn't be surprised if that leads to an extra heal later on. Being on 3 HP can be a little scary going into Deep Nest. It's pretty easy to take 1 or 2 damage, and then being on 2 HP is right in the kill zone of the final devout.
No swag strap from homothety. Understandable. Ooh.
Um, Interesting. Abyss fall there. It seemed that he just ended his inventory drop a little. Yeah, this is not what you want to see. From Slow here, yeah, just taking a fall there, putting him right in the middle of all those aggroed mantises, but he does make it out of there.
Not
Doesn't
gonna
opt
heal.
for a heal at all. Very
Wow.
brave. Knows he's a little short on time with that death, whether or not he's watching the race. Oh, that's smart from Homothety, going to the left and wingsing up to the left side of
Wow.
that platform.
I
That was a good
mean,
climb.
that's gotta be random movement, right? There's no way that's practiced.
I don't see why not.
Yeah,
The
fair enough.
siblings are random, and his siblings are random in both randomizer and here.
Mm-hmm. And now Homothety's going to be getting the second to last skill in the game. Shade Cloak, we're going to see a quit out here. It saves about 10 seconds loading, but I'm pretty sure it's actually slower RTA. It doesn't really
According,
matter though.
according to Palm, that's actually the standard optimal movement from
Oh,
Homothety there, the dash left. It does make sense. Dashing away from your objective, very rarely quick. Um, but it's definitely safer to go the other way, or at least it doesn't risk you missing that wall cling and falling, but he manages it just fine.
mm-hmm.
Does collect the Shade Cloak, does quit out, return to full HP, doesn't have any soul, which is normal.
And it's
Slow
now
gets the amount of geo you'd want to have there.
Homothety is now on his way to collect the final bill in the game, Howling Wraiths. It's on
Abyss
the
Shriek.
others. Yes, Abyss Shriek. Sorry, is on the other side of the abyss, opposed to where Shade Cloak was.
We'll see him stop the C dash here and start charging either a dash slash or a great slash. I actually have not. Yeah, it is a dash slash for him. I assume that's optimal. I couldn't figure out whether great slash or dash slash is better there personally, but looks like dash slash is the way.
Mm-hmm. I think there's so many different strategies for that area. I don't think anyone knows exactly what's optimal. I think it just depends on what's good for you.
Um, I'm gonna say that it's probably the dash slash because it does have a bit of extra range there. I don't think the great slash would be much slower, but
Well, there's
it wouldn't.
even more strategies than that. There's like the slashing it and then killing it with the C dash. There's the cyclone slash strat. I
Huh.
think there's other ones.
I
but
haven't seen those.
yeah.
Quite interesting. Either way, killing that first Shadow Creeper is very important, but we're seeing Homothety do the Abyss climb. Misses a little bit of a jump there. Should
Still
be
very
fine. We should
good.
be seeing the triple spike pogo here. Did he just wings directly up to that? With
Yeah,
no
he
dash?
did. He did not
That's
dash.
crazy.
It is crazy. A little mishap there, but that's alright.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably just a little off cycle on these crawlids after missing a first initial jump. But Slow is going to be entering the abyss, almost high-fiving Homothety on the way out, so to speak. Homothety will be on his way to the final boss, while Slow will be doing a swag strat to get into the abyss and then collecting the Shade Cloak and Shriek, just as Homothety is about to do so, or just as Homothety had already done,
Mm-hmm.
I should say. And we are looking at, yeah, I believe. I don't think we have any reason to suspect Homothety won't get a better time than his leaderboard time here.
Yeah,
Or not his leaderboard time, but even his past races.
it's looking like a 52, I think. 50.
I
Yeah.
think it's a low. I think it's a mid 51.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's possible.
I mean, he should know how to fight the Hollow Knight with the Shriek quickly.
Low 51. Fair enough. Yeah. Okay.
Shouldn't be a 2-minute fight. Yeah, I guess we should mark that there is potential for a death. There's a lot of damage tanking done if the Hollow Knight gives rude RNG. You want the Hollow Knight to stand still and absorb all the shriek damage. It's such a long spell, but it deals so much DPS.
Yeah.
And if he decides to dash right as you start that Abyss Shriek, you are going to take a hit without any ability to avoid it. So there is going to be some face taking involved. Very likely, and that can lead to death if the runner is not careful, but I would imagine Homothety can handle this. He gets both of those first shrieks, almost all the full damage.
Nice.
Didn't have quite enough soul. Yeah, he's not having enough soul to deal with these parries. The parry can't block the Abyss Shriek, but if you don't have soul, it will block you from getting a nail hit and finishing it up.
That one shriek had no ticks to it, maybe one tick. Still very gonna pump it out a lot of damage here.
Yeah, two shrieks one after the other, and a nice face tank there. That was whoa.
Tried for
Oh
some
man,
stuff, didn't quite get it though.
oh boy. All right though,
Yeah.
we're gonna be seeing a 5140. It looks like
Yeah,
from
around
Homothety.
as Slow gets the final ability of the game.
Unless he has an offline PB that he's just not submitted, this is definitely his fastest race time, and both of his race times are faster than his leaderboard time. So almost certainly a PB for Homothety.
51:44:63. Incredible time. Incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to swap the audio to Slow here,
Yep.
so we can pay attention to him, and then we'll.
Oh, you should mark Homothety as winner, right?
I think, isn't it like we do that after both
No.
players? No. Okay.
If you just mark it as winner, then it'll automatically switch to slow.
Well, yeah, I know that.
Yeah. So typically you just mark as
Well,
winner.
I just thought it was a thing now that we don't mark the players as done until they both finish, so they don't come into comms too early. But I guess.
No, they're just supposed to know the not to come into comms.
Yeah. Okay.
Slow does take at least 1 damage to the spikes here. Does recover quite quickly, but
It's looking like a bit of an unfortunate climb, having to go some awkward ways, but does recover quite well, indeed.
yeah. We're probably going to see a bench at Dirtmouth, which would be optimal. The other bench would be stopping the C-Dash on the way to the Hollow Knight. A third possibility is that he sees he has 2 hits of soul here. So he could just choose to heal once as the Hollow Knight is starting to scream. Again, with how face tanky that fight is. With how tanky that fight is, or face tanky the fight is, going in on 4 HP can be very scary. A little RNG dependent as well. So I would like to see him bench here at Dirtmouth.
Yeah,
Just a
that
quick dash to the left. Nope.
does not go for it.
So if that's the case, I do reckon he'll be healing once before the fight starts.
Mm-hmm.
And then saving 1 shriek to start the fight with a shriek. Because that first shriek is pretty much guaranteed 120 damage. Not a guarantee you can get in many other places in the fight.
Yeah, it's the start of fights are generally where you want to pump out your most damage. Burst them down and then will them afterwards, but we'll see what Slow does. This room always is so nice. All the white things popping up behind as you fly through. Anyway, here we are at Hollow Knight, the final boss.
Only recently I learned that dashing between these chains is very unoptimal. Or not very unoptimal. Well, it would lose just and that heal as I expected.
Mhm.
It's faster to make sure that your hits are lined up without the dashes, because the entire time you're dashing, you're not able to swing your nail. And if you do it right, you can swing your nail almost the entire time. And yeah, he just takes damage right at the start, so he's already on 3 HP.
Yeah. It kind of looks like after that rough Sanctum, Slow just kind of lost his groove.
I wouldn't say so. You only lost 8 seconds to Homothety on most of the splits that came immediately after. I would say that, oh boy, yeah, already on 1 HP, and
Okay, he should heal here, surely. Yeah, just make sure he doesn't die on this 3rd or 4th phase. The race is already over. Slow again, even if he's not watching, I would expect that he knows that. Yeah, getting this early control on that last screen can be a little frustrating. All skills just quite often. The Hollow Knight will die before that. Yeah, good game for sure. The runners finished. I guess the timers must have been a little bit different, right? I wasn't paying too much attention, but the timers surely must have been a bit different. It doesn't feel like it's been 3 minutes since homothety finished, but perhaps I'm wrong.
Yeah, no, I think it's 3 minutes sounds about right, because you're not including load normalizers. Loadless. Anyway, slow finishing 3 minutes from his PB is still very good. Did you mark
No, I've not, sorry.
I'll mark slow is done, all good.
Thank you.
Hello, Homothety, congratulations on your win.
Hello.
Yeah. And we were curious, was that a personal best from you? Because it definitely beats your last race times and your leaderboard time.
It is. I have PB'd since the race. Actually, today, when I PB'd by 0.6 seconds with a 52.08. So this is a real PB.
Nice.
Excellent. Congratulations.
Yeah, nice run.
Really, really solid run from you. And Slow, how are you feeling about the race in general?
Wasn't the best. It's all right though.
Yeah, I do believe that your previous races were. I don't think there were any unintentional deaths in your previous races. Could be wrong.
The last one I died twice, but other than that, I'm pretty sure no.
Yeah,
but
some really good RNG throughout the run. Well, Slow, unfortunately, got some pretty bad RNG with Soul Master.
That was like the worst Soul Master RNG I've ever had. It was terrible.
It was horrific. It was so unfortunate. That was definitely the tipping point of the race. Did you feel?
I was actually going to say that Soul Master was the first part of the race where I actually felt good about anything that happened.
I
don't know if you know, but I kicked this off with like a 7 spitballer into a
solid
green bath. So I was like 20 seconds behind where I wanted to be all the way through there.
Oh yeah.
It seems right up until Sanctum, you both were so even. In fact, in sync in some parts of the race.
Really?
Unfortunately, from that point, Homothety did take the lead and refused to give it up.
Yeah, definitely.
But it
greedy
was
with the lead.
Yeah. Come on, Homothety, let's slow out the lead.
Yeah, that was definitely the downhill point for me, was Sanctum.
Did you feel like your gameplay had worsened at all after that, or if you were still pretty much playing at your best until perhaps your death at Uma?
I don't think I was playing as well as I did before Sanctum. I think I got pretty tilted.
Yeah, and that's reasonable. It was I was talking all about soul management and stuff, and whether or not you'd be able to get the quick kill, and then he just gives you the RNG that doesn't allow for it. And I'm like, wow, well.
Yeah,
so
totally.
none of that mattered.
I know, right? Yeah.
But we're Homothety. I know that you were at least looking in chat. Were you watching the race at all and keeping track?
I did not really start looking at the race until really about after Umu or so. So I actually didn't even see Slow's death.
Oh, I see.
So yeah, I don't like to follow the race too closely early on, because that just causes unnecessary stress if you're trying to figure out who has the 2-second lead in green path or whatever.
Yeah.
Could we ask what Valigna did to distract you and what you messed up with that?
Oh, he was talking about eating midwife for breakfast or something. What?
What?
I'm sure Vali knows. And I don't have to make myself clear because it's obviously not my fault that I fell on the spikes because I wasn't looking at the screen.
Absolutely.
Got it.
Nice.
Was there anything in particular in this race that you're, well, I mean, in your PB, is there anything that you think would be, oh, your wing split. I'm curious how close to gold that was.
You know,
Because it was pretty solid.
now that we're done, let me actually
Mhm.
open up my layout so I can see my splits.
Yeah, that wing split was incredibly clean.
All right. Whoops. Yeah. So I did gold quite a few splits on this run.
Nice.
Nice.
Um,
Nice.
Wings, however, was not a gold. I actually lost 0.5 seconds on my PB.
Mm.
Yeah, probably due to the basin skip, right?
Yeah, I missed it twice, so that was really unfortunate. I did lose 17 seconds on Mothwing Cloak, so it was about as horrible as I thought. Yeah, the really good stuff was Dive, which was a huge time save. Isma, because I've been really bad at getting the skips. Great Slash, because I finally got one cycle. Yeah, that's pretty much the big things.
Nice.
That would be one cycle on those Durandus, right? Or Durandos?
No, I have Umu in that. So
Oh, you have Umu in
okay,
your.
interesting.
yeah, I don't have many splits.
Oh, okay.
So.
All right.
But yeah, that's really the big thing because my last couple of PBs had 2 cycles in them, so I had quite a bit of time saved up until then.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, really great run. I feel a little out of place criticizing, but I have to ask. when it comes to getting nail art early control into the wells, are there some you just choose not to go for, or you forgot, or you just haven't learned because boomer strats?
So I failed the first one with Dash Slash. I don't like the second one because I prefer to go for a consistent C dash set. Won't get knocked out by the
Oh yeah.
Eventually.
If you Cyclone Slash, you have a chance of getting hit by the Vengefly?
No, the Crawlid or whatever it is.
The Cyclone Slash effect. Because if you C dash.
Yeah, if you don't move before you C dash, you don't get knocked out.
Oh.
So. Interesting.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that is the reason for it. But I'm sure that the Cyclone is faster, and so I should learn it.
Yeah, but it would also be increased RNG, so that's actually very interesting. I'm glad I asked about that.
Notably, I had quite a bit of bad luck with getting knocked out of C dashes.
Oh yeah.
Oh really?
We did it.
The one in Kingdom's Edge, which doesn't save time, of course, and then in King's Pass too. That was really sad.
Yeah, the King's Pass one, we were debating whether or not that was the glitch hitting you out of it, or if it was just the Crawlid was too close and hit you right as you got the C-dash off.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell, but I think that if it hadn't have been the glitch, the Crawlid would have died either way, even if it did hit me, because the hitbox should have.
Yeah.
Because the sound effect showed that it started, so I think that was a glitch, but who knows?
Yeah, hard to tell when it's right on that frame. What about you, Slow? Anything in particular you were proud of in this race?
I got the Shade Cloak by a second. That's pretty much it.
Nice.
I got the RNG CDOS out of Archives twice, which was cool.
I think outside of the exit from between King's Pass and the entrance to Sea Peaks, I think your Sea Heart and D-Dark splits were both really good.
Yeah, except for the end of D-Dark was bad because I got hit in the spikes on that pogo, but otherwise it was pretty good, yeah.
Definitely going for the risky strat there. I didn't. Did homothety go for that spike pogo on the way up to D-Dark? The actual D-Dark room. The first spike pogo.
Which one? You mean the one next to the Crystal Hunter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I skipped anything.
Okay. Anyway, I think that was a fairly good race from both of you. Would have been It would have been cool if it was closer, but with a
Yeah.
with a PB of a 51-48 would have been a tall order, I think.
Yeah.
It's definitely a really good run.
Yeah, definitely expecting to see a 51 out of slow soon after that last PB.
Yeah, I need to get a 51.
Good
It'll
luck.
happen before the tourney ends. Do that.
Yeah, I think you've gone all the way from a 56 to low 52 over the course of this tournament. Is that right, Slow?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Very impressive.
That's really impressive, yeah.
So, congratulations to both racers. Congrats to the win on the PB at homothety.
GG, definitely.
GG.
Anything the racers would like to sign out with?
No, I'm all good.
I think that's a good time to end it then.
All
Thank you
right.
everyone for joining.
All right,
Cool.
thank you too for